I'm Dina Brown, certified financial planner professional and certified divorce financial analyst. Today, I have a special guest for you. I'm so excited. Elizabeth Bagan, nurse practitioner and owner of Fulton Gibbs. So she has this best kept secret, which I did not know about until I actually met her. And I've always been one to exercise and eat right. And sometimes I just wasn't feeling the energy. I was just like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. And until I met Elizabeth, she's like, no, there's a reason why. And she fixed me. And now I have tons of energy. And so I want to share that with all of you, because if you're feeling this way, you definitely need to at least give her a call and see if she's able to help you. So with that being said, I am going to now turn it over to Elizabeth, and I want you to share this best kept secret with all of us.
Thanks, Dina. Yeah, so, I did emergency med for a really long time, and I ate well and I exercised too. But I had that kind of sluggish feeling going, gosh, is this how it's going to be? Because I'm getting older, where's my little zest for life and where's my energy? And then I started researching out myself that a lot of this is hormone related. And I hear all the time from patients just like you that I eat right, I exercise right, I take care of myself, I sleep, but I still feel like I could go back to bed in the morning and just sleep the rest of the day, or I'm just foggy in my head. So I became foggy in my head, and I used to think that I was a pretty sharp person. And so I figured it out. It was hormone related. So I started getting treatment myself. And if you look at your hormones, it's not just your thyroid or your estrogen, your testosterone. It's also your vitamin D levels and your vitamin B levels. So if you think of your hormones, normally with women, we think, oh, we're just estrogen, and men make a lot of testosterone. But we both make estrogen and testosterone. Women make a lot of estrogen, and we make a little bit of testosterone, and men make a ton of testosterone and a little bit of estrogen.
Oh, wait, so you're saying that I have testosterone, even though I'm a woman?
Yes, everybody has testosterone, and we
I didn't
need
know
it.
that, but I only have a little bit, right?
Right. We just have a little bit. That's why we don't have all these huge beards and we don't look like, bodybuilders.
Thank God.
But testosterone is probably one of the most important hormones that we have in our body. It's our zest for life. It's our mojo. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning. It's part of our sexuality. It's whether or not, hey, we want to have sex or not. It's our lean muscle mass. It's our energy throughout the day. And also too, it controls those night sweats at night. So, you think, oh, I'm tossing the covers on and off, but that's really
Been
your
there.
testosterone.
Yeah, been there. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I know I look so young, but I'm only 44. And when I met you, I was 43. And I was just kind of venting to you about how I was not feeling myself and I wasn't feeling like my best me. And you said, well, maybe you're in menopause. It's like, yeah, no, I'm only 43. There's no way. That's like way too young. I already talked to my general practitioner about it. I talked to my OBGYN about it. And they were like, you're too young, you're too young, you're too young, until I talked to you and you're like, no, it's possible. And so all you did was just take a little bit of blood. And when I came back to meet with you, I was like, okay, so what's the deal? And you said you're in full blown menopause. And that just like blew me away, because I wanted answers. I wanted help. And I, for whatever reason, I couldn't get them from my physicians. And I was doing all the things they said to do: drink lots of water, exercise, do meditation, eat healthy. And I just didn't feel right. It just wasn't me. I felt drained like every day. I was like, maybe it's stress. But I can tell you, after the first treatment that you did on me, and I know everybody's treatment is going to be different, on the way home, driving home, I could totally feel this burst of energy. Like it like took effect right away. It was like a miracle. And that's why I say it's like this best kept secret.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I went and saw my primary care, I saw my OB, and they either said, okay, you have too much going on, you need to clear some things off your plate. Here's an antidepressant, you're just getting older. This is just, you're more stressed. But you gotta think of it, your hormones kind of fill up your gas tank. And if you
Mhm.
aren't producing them, you don't have anything in your gas tank to get going. So
Mhm.
as we age, we naturally decrease our production of hormones. So that's why we start to get tired. That's why, guys are sitting there watching the 5 o'clock news and they're asleep. It's why women feel like they're just dragging all the time. And you really need those hormones to get going. And another part is the thyroid. So if you think of
Mhm.
most clinicians and most practitioners and physicians, they treat to numbers on a lab test. So, okay, this is
Mhm.
the range. If you're within the range, you're normal. But that is not everybody's normal because we're all different. And
Mhm.
how I look at labs is, okay, this is my guidance, but I'm going to treat the individual because I want to know how they're feeling. If they feel cruddy and their labs say they're normal, well, they feel cruddy.
Mhm.
So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll push those hormones to the upper limits of normal, still have you within that normal range, but you feel better. So I'll treat people's thyroids. A lot of thyroids are subclinical, and
Mhm.
that thyroid regulates our mood, our depression, our anxiety. It's that joint pain. It's why people feel cold all the time or hair's falling out. And
Mhm.
it's also, if it doesn't feel good, then we're going to put on weight and we're going to ache and we just don't want to do
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that thyroid
Yeah.
actually is this master gland that in the long run controls our heart, it controls our metabolism. So
Mhm.
if this isn't working
Mhm.
right later on in life, we're going to have health problems.
Mhm. So like you mentioned some of the signs of both hormone deficiency and thyroid disease. Can you just share with us some more of the other signs that
Sure.
you may want to say, hey, I think maybe I have an issue and I need to get this taken care of instead of just brushing it off saying, well, I'm just stressed out and I have a lot to do.
So I would say probably the biggest complaint I get is I'm so tired. The next
Okay.
thing that comes after I'm tired is I just can't get it together. I think I have adult onset ADD. You don't have adult onset ADD. You don't need Adderall. Just tweaking those hormones just a little bit, you're going to go back to feeling, 10 to 15 years younger and you get that mental clarity back. Then people
Uh-huh.
start to complain about, I'm just edgy. I'm anxious. I just feel like I'm wound up all the time. I feel like a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I'm jumpy all the time.
Uh-huh.
Then, the depression, anxiety, the moods, what comes next. Then I have women tell me they've got all the what we call vasomotor symptoms. So the hot flashes, the dryness downstairs, or sometimes we leak urine. It's because we don't have that estrogen to fluff up that section down there, so we don't leak anymore. People complain about
Oh.
night sweats. They complain about being cold all the time. Then we start
Mhm.
talking about libido, not having that drive, and
Mhm.
that's our testosterone. So, who wants to go through life
Mhm.
without having a libido and feeling good about themselves?
Mhm.
That's a lot of it too. Then, you start getting the finer points. My skin is dry, my hair's falling out, my joints ache, I can't sleep at night. That's the other big one is, I used to sleep great. Now I can't go to sleep, I can't stay asleep. It's restless sleep, it's not a full night's.
Uh-huh.
So those are the things that main symptoms that people come up with whenever they come and see me.
Mhm. So tell me, talk about like when I'm always out there like giving your name. I'm like, you need to go see Elizabeth. And sometimes I get this pushback about, well, I just, it's better for me just to do it naturally and to just suffer through it. Um, Talk about that myth of that you have to do it naturally and just debunk that myth for us and tell us why is this a better alternative?
Do you want to suffer? You don't have to suffer. And that's a
Mhm.
big myth there. But the other thing too is our hormones play a role in our health. So we go
Mhm.
through menopause, women go from a 1 in 7 chance of heart disease, and we go toe to toe with men, 1 in 3 chance. So we lose that estrogen, we naturally are going to, end up with heart disease. So that
Mhm.
estrogen is very protective of the heart. And then
Oh, it
people
protects the
have this
heart.
other myth too that hormones cause cancer. Well, that's
Yeah, like breast cancer.
yeah. So actually, progesterone, testosterone, estrogen are very protective of the breasts. That's why you see a lot of women who go into menopause end up having breast cancers because we don't have the hormones to protect us. So if hormones caused cancer, little girls, teenagers, they would all have breast cancers because that's when their hormones are the highest. So
Mhm.
then we also look at falling and hip disease, osteoporosis, and that's all estrogen driven too. So not
Mhm.
having our hormones actually sets us up for a lot of health problems later on in life. So Mother
Mhm.
Nature is going to get us all in the end. She's going to win at the
Mhm.
end. But
Mhm.
how long can you fight Mother Nature and all those disease processes until she wins at the end? So it's
Mhm.
how do you want to age? How do you want to live once you get past menopause? Do you want to be somebody that's in and out of the hospital? Do you want to be somebody that's on 20 different medications? Or do you want to be living life to the fullest until you're called to go home?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. So,
Um,
when people talk about breast cancers, oh, estrogen causes breast cancer. What a lot of people don't realize is that breast cancer is probably brewing a good 5 to 10 years before you can see it or feel it. And that's just our body's natural process when it comes to cell death and cell mutations, is that it's a long process to get there. So when people think of hormones causing cancer, it doesn't. It gives it fuel to grow faster. So if it was there, it would grow faster. But
mhm.
I'll tell you a good story about that. I had a young lady come in that was in her early 40s, had a hysterectomy in her 30s, which, naturally everything's gone, sets her up for hormone problems and cancers. She came to me for therapy, and within a month, she said, something's going on in my breast. And I had treated her with estrogen, but we found that cancer. And she was young, 42. But that
Oh
was a good thing,
man.
because we found it early. She's treated, it's out, she's doing great.
Yay.
You look at the silver lining, would she have gone on all these years without finding that? And then, she had
Mhm.
children at home. So it's
So what
very,
you're saying is like she had it for many, many years, which is she
yes,
just didn't know she had it
right,
until she was treated and you gave her some estrogen and it like kind of made it come up to the top so that
yep,
she can identify that there was something wrong. And then
exactly,
she can get treatment for it versus just not knowing it's there and just letting it continue to grow.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's a big thing that I push too is, getting your mammograms, doing your annual health screenings, because we
Mhm.
take care of everybody else. We don't take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and for us to take care of everyone else, we have to be able to take care of ourselves first,
Hmm.
and have self-care. And so this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all of this information. Again, it's to me, it's like this best kept secret because it's just not something that we all talk about, but there is an alternative to just go into your physician or go into your OBGYN. There's people like Elizabeth that actually this is what they do. Like they know the signs. They are going to take the time to figure out what the heck is wrong with you and how do we get it fixed? Like how do we fix it? How do we get you feeling good, full of energy, but just feeling back to you again? And so if anybody is interested in contacting you, how would they do that?
The best way is either to call us. Our number is 904-454-4937. You can check us
Mhm.
out online. Our website's Fulton Gibbs with 2Bs.com. And,
Okay.
we'd love to see you come in for a consult. We take great care of our patients.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much for being my special guest today. I think that this is going to really help impact a lot of people for the better. And I want to thank everyone for watching. And if you need anything at all, I'm always here. My number is 904-217-6377. Dina Brown with nurse practitioner and owner of Fulton Gibbs, Elizabeth Bagan. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks.